XRP Prepare Now. And it's not just XRP, it's all the rest of the altcoins. Maybe you got a couple crap coins. Maybe you got the Kanye coin that launched last night. Hopefully not. Hopefully you got out if you did. But folks, the next 60 days, and really I'm saying 60 days, but it's between now and the ETFs going live, is going to be the opportunity, I think, on a lot of these altcoins to lock in your life-changing gains and profit and consider rotating to solid utilities, stable coins, while we wait for some things to kind of blow over or blow up. And I'm very adamant that I think that it's going to be the crypto treasury companies. I'm not going to name any names, but I think that that's going to be the catalyst that pops the bubble this time around. So without further ado, let's get straight on into the update. And I will be back live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Real quick, I got to plug this because a lot of people have been asking me questions about tax, legal, estate planning in regards to crypto. You guys have seen that we've plugged in Mark Kohler's law firm down below in the description of the video. I wanted to list off some of the services that they provide with some of the prices that these services go for, just to be clear. So you can get comprehensive entity structure setup starting at just under $1,600 with Kohler's firm. Comprehensive tax and business consultation that can go anywhere from about $1,795 to just shy of $5,000, depending on how comprehensive that consultation is going to be. LLC or S corp formation just shy of $2,000, $1,195. Comprehensive estate plan services start at about $28 to just shy of $6,000. Comprehensive solo 401k just shy of $1,600. Solo 401k setup at under $1,000, $995. And he actually showed us in the call that he did with us last Friday on how to do a mega Roth. It's a backdoor mega Roth where you could actually invest over the, $7,000 that you could normally do into a Roth. He showed us how you could potentially do a backdoor setup and actually invest over $70,000 in your Roth IRA this year. Yeah, you're going to want to get in touch with his team, and that's linked up down below. The final one is the IRA and LLC checkbook IRA, single multi with IRA at directed IRA. That's going to be just shy of $1,200 to $1,500. So some of the services that his firm provides, and then the other big one, and why I wanted to plug him in there, is because they fill a big need in our community with a network of accountants across the country. So I'm in the middle of finding a new accountant myself. My previous accountant, he's retiring right now, so I'm transitioning to a new accountant. Mark Kohler, they got a network across the country, and they're all trained up on some of the strategies and structures that Mark has put together for our community. Really excited. And so just wanted to plug that real quick. Let's get right on into it. Everything's at zachrector.com. And let me be very clear, just so everybody understands where I stand. We are not going to get rate cuts in September. I do not believe we will. I know that the market's pricing in 90%. Well, the same market was pricing in 6 rate cuts in 23, 7 rate cuts in 24. They missed by a lot, right? We got 3 rate cuts leading up to the election in September, in November, and December, I believe. And so we did get a few, right? As the election was taking place, that was it. And now Fed Chair Jerome Powell and this Fed wants to stick it to President Trump. So I do not believe that we're going to get Fed rate cuts. Fed's hammock says, I do not see an imminent case for cutting rates based on current data. So between the market getting the PPI data last week, where folks went, oh crap, the odds went from 100% rate cut in September only down to about 95 or 90, I think, right now. So people still think that we will, but we took a little hit. And that's why the market took a crap. And now, this week, everybody's scared of what Jerome Powell's going to say tomorrow. The market's already priced in Jerome Powell being negative. Jerome Powell saying, that we're not going to deliver a rate cut. There's actually people that think he could deliver a rate cut tomorrow. And it just goes to show that many people have no idea how this actually works, right? An emergency rate cut could be done, but he's just giving a regular speech at Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And this is why market participants get so misled, especially in the crypto bubble, because they're listening to people that don't understand the macro. So I try to break down the macro and then tie it back into how it's going to affect our crypto bags. And that's why I'm saying that the bottom is probably already in. That 281 that we hit, yeah, I think that was the bottom. And even if we do pull back further to 272 again, we got structure there. But we've already set that higher low at 281. We pulled back to 287 this morning. We're catching a little bit of support there, so that's fine. But markets are forward looking. And so people are already scared. They're already pricing in. We already got the sell off before Jerome Powell speaks. And so I think that we've probably seen the worst of it. You might get one more pullback. I mean, right now, you're back below 290. I don't think it's going to last long, folks. We're about to move higher because something that wasn't priced in was more trade deals. We have Howard Lutnick saying that we have finalized our historic EU-US framework agreement on reciprocal, fair, and balanced trade. So there you go. We're opening it up. This deal eliminates EU tariffs on all U.S. industrial goods, creates historic access to the vast European markets for American farmers, fishermen, and ranchers, delivers $750 billion in European energy demand during President Trump's term, and the EU firms will invest an additional $600 billion in new investments in America. The America First trade agenda has secured the most important trading partner, creating a major win for American workers, U.S. industries, and our national security. Tariffs should be one of America's favorite words. And this is what I'm saying. You got peace deals, right? Russia, Ukraine getting signed. You got trade deals getting signed. And then you have the expectations of a rate cut. And you've already seen the rally kind of pick up. We got the sell-off over the last week, but I think it's ready to pick up here again. And then I'm going to speak here shortly on the big catalyst for crypto, XRP, and these altcoins, which is the rally leading up to the ETFs going live. Now, this is what we're up against. This is who is holding back our space in the meantime. Did any of you guys buy? Are any of you guys degens in the chat that bought the Yeezy coin, the Kanye coin? I hope not, because this is who's holding back the space. I want to give you a language warning because I do think that these kids drop a few F-bombs and curse words, but these are the kids, and this is who in the space is holding us back because they do rinse and repeat rug pulls while we're trying to build out real utility here. Take a listen.
We're going to Brian Murray! Let's fucking go!
This is our space. Right. And I apologize for the F-bombs there. Hopefully you didn't have the kids listening during that one. But so Gordon says the guy who is behind the Yeezy token is publicly bragging about insider trading and rugging for millions of dollars on his IG. I'm seeing all these cats. These guys, they're on TikTok. They go rent little whippy whips. They rent little girly girls. And they do all sorts of silly stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they are literally openly showing the crime, the fraud, everything that they're committing publicly online. It's insane. But this is why we can't move our space forward. It is because you got so many. I mean, some of the best developers and minds in the space are literally being deployed by teams like this, trying to figure out how to build algorithms, bots, so that they can snipe launches, dump on people, and then they use their influence to also dump on their communities as well, too. It absolutely is sickening. It's not going to stop. And I think that, this Yeezy one's the most recent one. You've seen the president of Argentina. You saw Trump coin, all of these. I have been clear. I only participate in the memes on the XRP ledger. I only like organic communities. I don't like cabals. I don't like pump groups. I despise this activity that I just showed you. This is what kids are thinking. This is the way. This is how I make my bag. And it's just unfortunate to see. Now, in regards to real utility, real adoption, and actually building out a new financial system that's going to be inclusive for all, that would be Ripple XRP news that I got lined up for you. And yes, Ripple did file a trademark patent for XRP. And yes, 589 is in the patent. Okay, so the Riddlers win once again. Riddler's going crazy with that one. This is a real document. Absolutely. They have many many patents and trademarks there for XRP and other things. Very interesting to watch. Prepare your bags, please. And this is kind of what gave me the inspiration to just title this video, XRP Prepare Now. This is Gemini. They're getting ready to launch a new card on 8/25/25, it looks like. I'm actually going to be meeting with Gemini here in about an hour to see what this is all about, and I'm very excited to report back with you guys, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of Gemini, they just secured a MiCA license from the MFSA, cleared to expand crypto services across 30 European countries. I've never used Gemini. I'm excited to meet with them today, see what this new deal's about, but it just goes to show you that more service providers are coming to the XRP community. And that's what I'm here to do, is to figure out what's the deal, what kind of services, what are the fees, where's the security at, what's the deal? And then we run through that, and then I share it with you guys, and I say, hey, here's a resource I like, Here's something I don't like. It's up to you to make a decision. And so we'll see what Gemini's doing, but it just shows they're all coming to service the XRP family, including the CME Group, the largest derivatives platform in the world. New record for XRP futures with an all-time high in open interest with 6,000 plus contracts on August 18th, right as the anniversary approaches. It's a clear sign of growing conviction in the market. And I'll tell you, I'm guilty. I'm guilty as ever. I have the biggest XRP long position, the biggest futures trade I've ever made in my life. Big XRP long. I just added to it a couple days ago at 291. Been able to lower my entry down pretty good. And I think it's going to play out really well. I got some TA I'm going to show you here next that I think shows you what happens. Now, no, here's the big catalyst that I've been talking about is the ETFs going live in October. There's a chance that they could go live sooner, but it looks like this is going to be happening in October from what we've seen. Here is Multicoin Capital on stage at the SALT conference with Eleanor Terrett, and he's explaining, and this is what concerns me, is this would be the final way that they suppress XRP, is I've mentioned that they're going to go live with all of these ETFs on the same day. So the XRP ETFs will go live with Solana, Bonk Coin, Trump Coin, Melania Coin, Fart Coin. There's going to be all sorts of ETFs going live at that time, and nobody's actually filed for the Fart Coin ETF, but I'm sure that eventually somebody will. They'll do an index fund of meme coins. So it'll be Fart Coin, Pepe, and Doge, and a couple other crap coins too. It's going to be crazy. These suits are going to be selling it in 589 different ways to you, maybe more. And so the point being, you have ETFs going live in October. If history repeats or even slightly rhymes, you're going to see a huge rally for XRP. Okay, and so that's why I'm saying prepare now. Don't wait. See, people wait for the case to end and then they buy XRP. You're late. People wait for Trump to get elected and then you buy XRP. You're late. Now, it's okay. I understand. Some people just found out about XRP recently. Not trying to knock that. That's great. You're here. You've made it now. But it's the psychology of waiting. Oh, I'll wait till the ETFs go live and then it's going to be bullish. Right? I'll wait till the Clarity Act passes and then I can come back to paying attention to XRP. In the meantime, I don't need to pay attention because nothing's going to happen. You're going to miss. You're going to miss big time. And you're going to get caught holding the bag, not just on XRP, on your other cryptos as well too. Now, I don't mind holding XRP. I'm going to hold most of my XRP through this bull run. Let me be very clear. But I have a trading bag of XRP, and then I do have a couple levels where I will take some profit on XRP, just a little bit. But it's mostly my other altcoins that I'm going to be dumping 90% of, to be honest with you. The rest of my altcoins, 90% of it, see you later. We're going to take the money and run. And that's just how I'm playing it. And many people are going to get caught off guard thinking that they can wait for the ETFs, they can wait for the Clarity Act, they can wait. It's going to happen now. So don't get caught off guard. Listen in.
Just really quick, give us an overview of this generic listing standard for crypto ETFs. And when could we see a Solana ETF?
Generic listing standards, they are likely coming about a month away. The basic rule is if you want to launch a fund, the principal component of which is a digital asset or any type of commodity that has had a contract listed on a CFTC regulated designated contract market, you can launch now without the 19B4 rule proposal from the exchange. So it'll allow you just to take a registration statement and go live without this 240-day dance with the Division of Trading and Markets. I expect it to go live within the next 6 weeks, and that would open up the window, which starts on September 16th and ends on October 10th for a Solana ETF launch and likely an XRP launch a month or two after, just because they haven't been on a DCM for quite as long.
So that would be the final way that they suppress XRP, which they already are, by delaying the ETFs. Bitcoin and Ethereum have had ETFs for a year, for Ethereum, a year and a half for Bitcoin. So they've already suppressed XRP and Solana and everything else by doing so. But to make it worse, right, they could allow the Solana ETFs to actually launch before the XRP ETFs. That would be the final way to suppress XRP. So don't be surprised on that. But like he says, the timeline takes us right in here to September, October. They're going live 100%. Let's get into the TA. Wave 2 about to show its hand for Bitcoin. Take a look at this chart from Cassie Trades. The correction for Bitcoin probably wrapping up. You saw a little bit of a pullback this morning, but it looks like we're going to be making that wave 2. This is an what is this? I don't know if this is an ABC correction, wave 1, 2, yeah. But either way, right? This is, this pullback here. She says that we hit a short-term cycle top, or maybe even a cycle top for this whole bull run here at 124,000. And then you get this drawdown here to 112. And now she's expecting Bitcoin to rally back up here between 117,000 and 120. And this is where I'll be looking to enter my Bitcoin short. That's right. Now we slide on over here. Cassie Trades explains how XRP golden retracement is holding, and we're still targeting the 341 level. Absolutely love to see it. 288 is the 618 retracement, which lines up as the textbook subwave 2 target in Elliott wave theory. This is the make or break retracement level that defines whether a new bullish trend is valid or just a fake out. Seeing XRP hold here is encouraging, especially with Bitcoin reaching its RSI support at the same time. In Elliott wave theory, when a retrace completes near the 618, it sets the stage for subwave 3. I know these are a lot of technical analysis terms, Elliott waves, subwaves, 1, 2, 3, ABC, which is usually the strongest wave of the cycle. If you want to understand what this means, it means that the number is about to go higher. Please prepare. That's why this level is so important. If this holds, the market remains bullish and it opens the door for momentum to kick back in. Short-term targets at 341. We need to flip 321 in the meantime. But this is the short-term plan, as it ultimately is setting the stage for a breakout to new all-time highs. Just tracking this as it's unfolding and it's aligning perfect. We will be out of these resistances in no time. Absolutely love to hear it. Let's go take a look. Right now we're at 288. A little pullback this morning on the 4-hour chart here to 287. This is after we got the dip down yesterday to 281. And so we have set a higher low compared to last week when we went down to 272, right? Or that was a couple weeks ago now, I guess, on August 2nd. Okay. Last week we had the big pullback. That was from the the PPI. PPI came out way too hot. Market crapped out. Market continues to bleed in anticipation of Jerome Powell not telling us what we want to hear. Right, everybody, is expecting rate cuts, expecting Fed Chair Powell to pump us up. He's not going to, and so the market's already pricing that in. I think that we've probably seen the worst of it, and we're getting ready to move higher now. And so whether or not we get one more little pullback over the next couple days, you have Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow. We have marked on our calendar August 23rd here. Saturday is the new moon. I'm not going to explain it here. If you want to get tapped in, it's all in our Discord group, but I'm not going to explain it in depth here. The point being, we're completing this bearish energy. We're completing this bearish event with Jerome Powell speaking. We got the bad news, the PPI. We've digested it. Now it's time to go higher. And it's going to be anticipation of everything that I've laid out from the ETFs, rate cut rally expectations. Ripple going to become a trust charter bank probably by the end of this year. The SEC versus Ripple case will officially be, filed into the docket. It'll be finally officially over, right? All of this plays perfectly with the Clarity Act passing as well for that next wave up. And I think that many people are going to get caught off guard, not paying attention, thinking that nothing's going to happen when we absolutely are going to be moving higher very shortly. So I have my target set. I have my cryptos placed out on these platforms with my orders set. These platforms know what I want to do. We'll see if they can get the job done. We'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be back live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Everything's at ZachRector.com, and on the way out, if you could tap it or smack it for me, we would greatly appreciate that. Thank you, and God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.